Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Forge of Champions. My name is Munchables, and I'm joined by Orcs as we jump into our second series of the night. We're jumping into Nvision, going up against Phelan, and both these teams going to be shifting a little bit as we go into this one. But what a performance coming out from M&M in the end. Fantastic stuff. They do get the 2-0. Wasn't the cleanest performance we've ever seen,
Game
though.
2 was great. Game 1, less great. That was sort of Enclave gave them the window, and yes, they capitalized on it. Got to hype up Chibs and Only Angel for finding their way back in that game and that team fight. But overall, at the end of the day, they get the 2-0, but still a lot of things they want to work on before they come back for the next stage of the tournament. But yeah, as you're saying, on next series, Nvision, we already saw them play. They have changed up a variety of their roster. You know, there were different areas. I believe they changed just their entire top side of the map. They've only kept their bot lane the same.
Bot lane, yeah.
So we did see them. They had a pretty solid performance, and I have solid expectations for them coming forward. But on the other side, we haven't seen this new Phelan yet. I'm feeling we're a team who didn't have the greatest regular season, but Gauntlet was good.
Yeah, and we'll be able to go super in-depth into the rosters, but one of the big ones, especially on the side of Nvision, I want to talk about is Artorias. This guy is old school. This guy, if you guys are new to the UK scene, Artorias has been around forever. He's been around as long as I have. Like, I remember casting him back at like I-55 or something. Him and his brother used to be on the same team. He's twin brother of Crossfair. If anyone doesn't know that, I know that that's kind of a meme at this point.
Wait.
Only 17 years old. Wait, no, that's not true.
They were twin brothers?
Twin brothers.
All time.
Playing on the same team for a long time as well.
Mind blowing.
But he's back. He's back in the scene. He's in the top lane. And he likes to play carries. He's an exciting player to watch.
Yeah, he definitely is. And I think the meta is more suited to him. Seeing Artorias in the tank meta wasn't a big for him. And particularly seeing Only Angel in this Camille. I remember playing against Artorias, and one of the big picks for him was this Camille. There were plenty of moments where he's looking for those opportunities to backdoor. He's definitely, I would say, not been at his peak for a while, because there was a point where he was looking like one of the stronger top laners in the league, going up against the likes of Shikari in these top tier teams. And having to break away from the game definitely does a hit to that, but there is nothing to suggest that he can't climb back to that level. You know, he has performed really solidly in the past, and hopefully Nvision is a team that can facilitate him to do that. And
this whole roster is kind of having a rebirth, right? Changing 3 out of the 5 players, that's definitely a rebirth. Maybe Artorias can find that rebirth alongside this roster. It's certainly going to be exciting to see. On the other side of things, Phelan, I mean, we can take a look at the rosters as well and go through this, but Phelan changing things up a little bit. It's going to be Wisdom was taken out of the roster. He's going to be replaced by Jepahow, which is quite a big transition for them.
Yeah, because Wisdom was one of the standout performers for me on the team, even when they didn't have tons of success. He was the most experienced player on the roster, having played in the EU Challenger Series back when it was about a long-standing member, helped provide a lot of knowledge to the rookies. And as well, they brought in Pad. They already had Connor. They used that coaching staff in the Gauntlet. And these players who weren't meshing together for the UKLC split really played very well in the Gauntlet. However, although they've lost those members, they brought Fear and Dog, who has a ton of experience himself in as the coaching staff. They brought Jeppe Howe, who definitely isn't as experienced as Wisdom, but does have competitive experience. And I feel like even though the sources of that knowledge, that inspiration for the rookie players is gone, it's not forgotten. They'll have still learned a ton during that time. They still are the same players who played in that Gauntlet. I expect them to still deliver a similar level.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping so. And 2 of the players on the side of Nvision, the new guys, Antero and Mad My Day, we've only seen them twice. We saw them obviously last week here in Forge of Champions, but prior to that, there's actually very little footage of them playing. So they're almost like question mark factors coming into this series. Exactly, yeah. And they're here to prove themselves. Obviously, they've got 2 wins under the belt. Not a 100% win record in the UK so far. Incredible stuff. But I'm excited to see what they have to bring to the table, because we've seen such a small snippet of them. Yeah,
I completely agree. I feel like we've seen a small amount of them playing, which means it's hard to get a massive read, but also it's a sort of rookie syndrome in the UK. We've had a lot of rookies in recent time, and some of them, they find their footing early on. Some of them, they do struggle, but playing in a competitive situation like this, and it's not the regular split, because in the regular split, you lose, you come back next week. Here, you lose, you're not coming back next week. It's all or nothing.
Certainly is best of 3, but once you are out, you are gone. And you can see the coaches there as well. It's going to be Fire Vortex for Nvision and Ferndog stepping in for Phelan. Important thing to mention, obviously, Ferndog, previous LEC coach, ton of experience behind the guy. He's been a coach for a very long time. He did coach you, actually. Yeah, that's true. I'm excited to see what he can bring to Phelan. Obviously, stepping into the shoes of Pad, who coached them through the gauntlet, it's going to be a big task on his hands.
Yeah, but I will say that he is in a roster that, although they've lost Wisdom, was looking complete in the gauntlet. And I feel like Phelan will not let that work that's been put into them go to waste. He will keep them working together as a strong unit. So although he hasn't had a ton of time with the team, I'm still confident this roster will look strong. The question isn't whether Phelan will look good, it's how good Nvision look in comparison. And you see the bans start to come in. Olaf Heimer banned away, Lucian, Jarvan. So the Heimer's a big one for me. Obviously got buffed massively on this patch. Achu is a sort of player who is not your traditional marksman player. He is very willing to play these mages in the bot lane flex. We've seen Vigar from him. We've seen Sona. Heimer definitely not something that's outside his wheelhouse.
Certainly not. Xayah going to be the last ban coming on out here from the side of Nvision, so not looking to first pick the Xayah Rakan combo.
I'm never a fan of a blue side Xayah ban. I feel like it should be something forced on the red side, but at the end of the day, Nvision clearly have a different view of things. Pantheon going to be the last ban for Phelan, and now it comes over to what Nvision want to first pick. Syndra is something that has a lot of priority that they could look towards. It is something that can flex between mid and AD carry, although I'm not 100% certain how confident Spark is on these mages, but they're going to very quickly lock that one in now. It goes over to the side of Phelan.
So far in 2019, Spark has not played any mages in competitive. We have seen him on things like the Sivir, though, a lot more than any other AD carry, so that could be a fallback for them. Fulfills a similar role to these mages in the bottom lane in that you can shove these waves incredibly quickly to force priority or to reset priority.
Absolutely, and we see Soft picking up his signature Lee Sin. Something he's extremely confident in this early rotation. Now, there's a lot of areas, a lot of directions that Phelan could go here. I feel like you could pick something like a support or an AD carry that wouldn't sort of show too much about your composition. Or you could go for something that is a possible flex and just assert yourself in the rift. They will go for that sort of safer pick, which is the Ezreal. Not wanting to show a ton about what their composition is going to offer. They have some fairly flexible picks that will sort of fit into a lot of different compositions. And now it goes over to Nvision. Here, I feel like you do want to answer the Ezreal, because with Xayah, Lucian, and Ezreal at the table, you are going to move down in priority if you don't pick up something for the bot lane.
Kai'Sa's still available as well.
Kai'Sa is an option, but you won't be there if you go to the next spam phase. But instead, they're going straight for the Cassiopeia. So we talked about how Syndra is a flexible, can be flex bot. Cassiopeia can be as well. And yes, you did say he hasn't played any mages yet. This could be something they have prepared.
It certainly could be. I'm excited to see what Spark is going to be able to do in this bottom lane. Also, whether we see some crazy stuff out of Nvision, like the role swaps that we've seen from some other teams, putting different players in different positions based on how comfortable they are on the picks. But it looks like they're going to lock in the support in the end. Proper Panda going to be going on to that Thresh.
I really like the Thresh, particularly if it is a Syndra in the bot lane, which it could be. We don't know yet, but whether it's a Syndra, Cassiopeia, or something else in the bot lane, if it's a mobile, you pair the Thresh with them, they have that get out of jail free card. One of the biggest issues I've seen when playing a Syndra in the bot lane or one of these immobile mages is if you get caught out, you will go down pretty hard. Thresh stops that from being a possibility, but in response, Phelan, they're going to answer with a LeBlanc for Chimera, something that could punish that immobility despite the Thresh being there.
Yeah, LeBlanc, one of his most played alongside Cassiopeia, which was taken away. So very comfortable pick there for Chimera. Now as we move into the second phase of bans, I'm curious how much of this is focused on towards the top lane, because when we talk about both Artorias and Beartree, both big players of Gangplank, but Beartree's champion pool is kind of been thinned out a little bit. Obviously, Pantheon was one of the picks that he really heavily relied on. That's been taken out in the bans. So we'll see what he is going to go with, but Mordekaiser was another one of his big picks back in the gauntlet.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that, with the counter pick, I feel like Mordekaiser is a much stronger pick. I think blinding it isn't the greatest. There are matchups that are going to struggle against it, and something that's flown through here is the Fiora. So Phelan had the counter pick, but the question is going to be, if Nvision took the Fiora themselves, what would they be able to counter with? Or is Nvision going to ban the Fiora away on the second ban? They've taken the Morgana out. Phelan has focused junglers. A counter pick Fiora is possibly the most devastating thing on this patch.
Yeah, Fiora is devastating. If Fiora has time in the side lane, if she has the 1v1 opportunities, you can just annihilate those health bars. And like we've said, both of these top laners more than happy to play a carry like Fiora. We'll see if that's going to come to pass.
Vision opted not to go for the second ban, so either we're thinking about it too long or just felt like they'd rather leave things open up in the air. It means it will go over to Phelan now. The options here, I feel like you want to lock in a support. You don't completely have an idea of what the enemy team are playing, but the Yuumi is something that has flown through this entire draft phase.
Yeah.
Paired well with the Ezreal and offers. There's not too much scaling on the side of Phelan already, but Yuumi is something that can bridge that gap.
Interesting that Yuumi has made it, especially considering there was another support ban there.
Yeah.
The fact that Yuumi makes it through here to be picked up by Jepahao, very interesting to me. But I mean, we'll see how that's going to pan out for them. Obviously, alongside an Ezreal, very, very solid pick. The Nocturne being hovered. Now, this is a pick. It is locked in that we've seen a lot in play-ins.
Absolutely. It's something that has that pressure, especially if you start to move things in the side lane. It can punish that massively. If, Battery goes for a counter pick split pusher, Nocturne is something that can punish that. Once you get a level 6 point, you can make a massive impact on the map. Now, Nvision, around their composition, looks like we saw the flexes. We said they can be flex bot. They can also be flex top. I expect this to be a Cassiopeia in the top lane. Syndra mid, Kai'Sa bot lane. I said that the Kai'Sa wouldn't make it through this far, but they baited Phelan by picking this Syndra and this Cassiopeia. They expected a mage bot. Instead, they're getting a mage top. And now Phelan, they need to answer, what is Battery going to take into a range top?
That is going to be a big question. Obviously, one of his old fallbacks was that Aatrox. It's been gutted, though, in recent patches, and it means that I'd be very surprised to see him lock that in. Nah is going to be the answer.
And another big one thing was the Gangplank, but we even saw a matchup in EU Masters of Magifelix playing Cassiopeia into Gangplank. It does not go well. So you do not want that matchup. He's picking the Gnar here. I still give this a massive edge over the Cassiopeia, because originally Cassiopeia top was played by Huni at MSI, specifically as a counter to Gnar in the top lane when he was super dominant. So the fact that you can chase down the Gnar with range that can match his, and you have the sustained damage, Battery may struggle in this matchup in the early levels, but they do have advantages elsewhere on the map. They have such a strong mid-jungle combo in the Lee Sin, the Blanc, really high power level 3, and against an immobile mage, that's what you want.
It's really easy to shut this Gnar down as well on the Cassiopeia, because the hop animation, first of all, is so long that you can ult mid-animation. Very easy to just deny that entirely. But also the Miasma stops that mobility when it's not trying to escape as well. So Antero will have very, very easy ways into that top lane once he's past level 6.
Absolutely. So that's the thing I want to see. And it does shut down, because one of the things is that although the Cassiopeia is going to be a hard lane opponent, there is this phase where if the Gnar goes for a full split push build, if he's able to outplay the Cassiopeia, he may struggle before, especially since you can build a ton of MR, you can build things like the Wit's End. That isn't going to really be an option because you always have that Nocturne as a threat. So I feel like Nvision definitely have a lot of tools, especially as they get late in the game. For me, for the side of field, and it comes down to Chimera and Soft, these two players with not a ton of experience in competitive, but they really started to shine, particularly in the UKLC summer from this year. And I want to see them popping off. They've taken LeBlanc, Lee Sin. This is a very mobile, very aggressive level 3 spiking duo. I want to see them try and take over the map.
The big question as well for me on Nvision's side is they have a very squishy composition here. It's one of these compositions that if things go right, you can snowball incredibly hard. You can have a ton of damage. You can really find these picks and just roll things into a victory. If you start to fall behind, if you get into a position where you just basically forced into these front-to-back fights, you're against a Gnar that could be an absolute brick wall on the front line. They're going to really struggle to win out those situations.
And if you fall behind against Phelan's composition, they have the Ezreal Yuumi for poke, they have the LeBlanc and the Lee Sin for pick potential. It's oppressive. You need to sort of find a window back into the game before it's too late. Otherwise, they will just run away with it.
Let's find out who will run away with this one as we jump into the first game of this series. It's going to be Phelan up against Nvision. Both teams shaking up the rosters at least a little bit. And both teams with some big expectations coming in. Phelan, off the back of last season, going all the way from a relegation tiebreaker to 3rd place through the gauntlet, battling their way through each and every other team in the league. Whereas Nvision didn't have the greatest season last time around, but they've changed things up and they're looking to change their fate as well.
Absolutely, a massive chance to redeem themselves. Remember, this is the same team who will go into relegations late in this month. A lot is on the line here. Even if they don't come out winning the Hall of Forge Champions, it's about proving their roster strength and testing. They've changed 3/5 of the roster, the majority. They want to test them in competitive. So when it comes down to their spot in the league, they're ready and they're prepared. And this is the first test for them.
Certainly will be a big test as well. And let's take a look over towards this bottom side of the map, because one of the big highlights for Nvision in their recent games has been Spark and Proper Panda. This 2v2, they've done some excellent work. Spark on his Lucian especially was quite impressive. Now on the Kai'Sa, we saw it from him last weekend as well. How does this 2v2 go down? Can they ever do anything in a 2v2, or is Ezreal Yuumi just too safe?
Level 1, you normally would be able to find priority because Ezreal Yuumi isn't that great level 1 at actually They're great at poking. They're not great at shoving away, but unfortunately, they actually helped Leash and Tero. So he's actually cost them that level 1 advantage. For the most part, you're just going to get chunked out. And it's very difficult to really do anything because until level 6, it's hard for Spark to follow up on anything Proper Panda does. And at the end of the day, it is Nezreal who has a ton of safety. You kind of need a gank, and with a Nocturne, there's not going to be a situation to do so.
Let's take a look up towards the top lane as well. We've already talked about these two players, our top lane carries, but Artorias is back in the scene, and you can see his statistics right there, but look at the kill participation. He was first place in the league for top laners for kill participation at over 60%. He is a huge impact for his team. He loves to rotate down. He loves to be a part of the action.
Which is why it's interesting seeing him here on this Cassiopeia, the fact that he's willing to pick something selfish, and he did show a variety on Barrage. He showed a variety of picks. I believe it was 8 champs in 9 games. The only one he played twice was Jace, so definitely a player who will provide a variety of roles for his team. But here, it's not the, I'm going to facilitate my team, pick something that can impact team fights. It's, I want to pick a carry. I want to scale up and be a monster for my team.
And it's interesting as well, because we kind of see the opposite style from Bear Tree. Gnar is not a champion that you're going to single-handedly carry the game on, generally speaking. It is a much more team-oriented pick. You want to set your team up for big team fight wins, for big skirmish wins, with that massive ultimate followed by the wallop.
I will say it still does have strength in the side lane is a big thing for me, is that although it can be a team fighting monster, Gnar is one of these versatile picks that can do that and still be a menace in the side lane. This is shut down pretty heavily though by the Cassiopeia, and we're seeing why this was picked up originally as a counter to the Gnar. A lot of damage coming out from Artorias, and with Antero waiting in the wings, they may look to actually dive this one pretty early on.
Mad My Day will get rooted on up here by Chimera, and Soph is coming in from the side as well. Mad My Day in so much trouble. Already has to flash, but he's on the wrong side of the map. Antero is nearby. They might be able to find themselves a 2 versus 1 here. 3 versus 1 as Artorias heads on down. Bear Tree's behind, and he's about to go into Mega Gnar. Soph backs away, and now Bear Tree should be able to kite this one out and escape. In fact, there's a teleport coming on through. Triple wallop comes down. Bear Tree dishing out the damage, but he's the first one to drop. 1-for-1 trade so far as Artorias falls as well. Chimera running for his life, but Antero will not let him escape. There's one going his way. Double kill for him. But all things considered, Phelan went out.
Honestly, I feel like Nvision did great there. Like the fact that they went 2 for 3 with all 5 members of Phelan in the top lane. The call from Phelan was really solid. They made the decisive call to bring the TP in. They got the triple wallop. But at the end of the day, you brought 5 members top and you only got 1 kill more. Gotta say, Nvision, despite the score on the scoreboard, they're in a comfortable spot, and now this swap has come in and they're able to get plates on the bot side. And
yeah, I mean, let's take another look at this setup, because obviously Soft flashes away. But Phelan, they take actually quite a while to get up here and help Bear Tree out.
I mean, the question mark to me is, why isn't Yuumi instantly here? So I believe is that just an Ezreal? Yeah, and then Jeppe roams up later. I mean, what was the point of roaming up when you could join a Chew on the TP? But I guess he made the movement sooner. Either way, it was a solid play from them, but the thing is with the Nocturne is that if he's constantly in the middle of a team fight, he has things like that lethal tempo, the attack speed from his W. He's able to find the sustained damage. And overall, especially since they were able to pick up a plate in the bot lane for Nvision, I believe, if observers could move over, I'll be able to see 100% if they got a plate in the bot lane.
I think they got 2.
2, yeah. So pretty solid performance. And overall, I've got to say advantage for Nvision. And then off the back of that reset, able to pick up an Ocean as well, which is a massive asset this early in the game.
Yeah, and it's all because, like you were saying, they managed to get the push in the bottom lane. They had huge priority there. Someone has to go and clear the wave instead of being able to rotate, and it means Antero can just step on into the Dragon Pit.
And you look at the champions on the side of Nvision. You have a Cassiopeia, you have a Syndra. One of the big things in that skirmish was that Chimera and Mad My Day were both out of mana. With an Ocean on the side of Nvision, that could really turn things around. 500 gold lead now. And Nvision, despite losing in terms of kill number, coming out just ahead.
So far, so good in terms of the gold in favor of Nvision. And Terry doing a good job staying up in farm. But look at the jungler scores right now. Both of them with 2 kills. Both of them with a ton of extra AD. We've got the triple longsword on Antero. Got the Warhammer there on Soft as well. These guys are going to be looking to fight, but Antero, he's getting close to that level 6 marks. Just a couple more camps will do the job. And that is when Nocturne will come online.
And for me, a metric I always measure Nocturne by is how much impact are you making with your first ult. The ideal is you get a kill and translate it into an objective. Next best is it's just, you know, a kill. But the worst case scenario is that you end up falling flat on your face. The other team turns it around. So I will be carefully tracking Antero now he has a 6. Where does he make his presence known with his ultimate? And what does he get out of it? Because you pick that Nocturne for this exact moment in the game.
This is the point at which he can snowballs, just based and got the warrior enchant as well.
Yeah, which is a massive spike to pick up on the back of that. This is everything set up for Antero to be the strongest champion on the map right now. It all comes down to hit to even make it more in favor of him. He's picking up the red buff. And now we'll see where he wants to put the presence down. It's 3 plates down already in the bot lane. I feel like it will be the lane you'd want to lean towards.
Yeah. Here we go. Pressure's on for Antero. We've said he needs to prove himself here in this series. This is his opportunity. Jepahao and Achu stepping on forward with this wave. Proper Panda could be the one that has to force this issue, though. Could be the one to try and find the CC. Jepahao stepping on forward will ward Antero out. They decide not to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I feel like they potentially could have just gone for that way earlier. I mean, the thing with the Ezreal and the Yuumi is that you only have to CC the one target. But I guess they were kind of put off by the fact that Proper Panda was so low, but I mean, you see in the poke here, it's inevitable against this lane that you're going to get chunked out.
Spark is in serious trouble right here. True Shot Barrage is on cooldown, but he's going to have to back away. This is going to be one plate given straight over to Achu and Jepahao. Now they'll be able to just continue to force these waves on in. They'll be able to reset, head back to base themselves. Fantastic pressure, though, coming out from this Ezreal Yuumi lane. It's exactly what you were saying. The harassment available from that lane in the early stages. Oh, stun comes in the mid lane. Proper Panda's here looking for Chimera. Sidesteps the hook, though. Very nicely done.
Yeah, with no distortion available on the back of that, Chimera could have been in trouble, but able to get away. Now Achu and Jeppe just able to pick up a plate and some spell use procs. That full support item now available for the Yuumi. And they're feeling comfortable. Ezreal 700 gold up. And yes, Kleptomancy always a factor there. But he has got that kill, those 2 assists from the skirmish top side. And also a bit of CS lead. Vision actually opting to swap their bot lane to the top side. Next Dragon is a Cloud, so not the highest priority. And Herald is going to be up in 30 seconds, so wanting to get the advantage on that play and be there as soon as possible. And the thing is, with Artorias in the bot lane, now that he has a Lost Chapter and a Tier, he can cut through the waves pretty effectively.
Yeah, he certainly can, and you can see that Soft is over on that bottom half of the map right now, and Tero stepping on in towards this mid lane. Proper Panda looks for the CC, will find the hook, and the chain is very much there. Stun, fear, everything going on through. One last auto isn't quite enough. Proper Panda grabs it with his auto himself, but in comes the Lee Sin. 1 kill for himself, looking for Mad My Day as well. Soft trying to finish the job, will get stunned up, taken on down as well. Solo on HP, needs to land the Sonic Wave, doesn't find it, and Mad My Day makes a statement.
Great moves coming out from the Syndra, and their new addition to the Nvision roster performs so well. Little mistakes there from Proper Panda and Antero to both commit for that kill onto the LeBlanc, but in the end, it's a 2 for 1, sorry, overall for Nvision. They come out ahead, and critically, they get the shutdown on the Syndra.
Man, we were saying we wanted this to be a close series. Both teams with a lot to prove. So far, it is living up to the hype. 4-4 on the scoreboard. Both teams trying to make things happen, trying to make plays. But good respect from each of these junglers. They know where the opponent is going to be, and they're both responding effectively.
An interesting turn of events, because we expected to see the pressure going towards the top lane, but instead, Proper Panda has used this situation to move and put pressure down mid. Normally you can't punish LeBlanc that well, but Chimera actually getting taken down there. And Achu and Jeppe, although they can poke Artorias, he has some sustain built into his kit, and he's managing to hold up pretty well. But this is the burden of moving your bot lane towards the top side. You will give up that second dragon. It is only a Cloud, though, and in return, they're getting plates.
Yeah, but also, look, the Herald is available right now. Antero is on that side of the map already. I feel like very easily, Nvision can answer this Cloud Drake with a Rift Herald, which you have to say that trade definitely goes in favor of Nvision.
100% does, and it means that they will be able to, I mean, pretty easily. You look already, that tower's down 2 plates in the top side. They get this Herald, they throw it down. They could easily get that first tower. Right now, Artorias, really smart play, and this is him showing his veterancy. If you look at his position on the bot side, he is really far away from his tower. He knows that a dive could possibly come out. He sees Soft show up in the mid lane, and this is when he chooses to step up. So yes, Jeppe and Achu got a ton of plates because there was a threat of a dive towards Artorias, but now he's able to clear it up. And Nvision should be able to transition up towards the top side and get the first tower blood for themselves.
Artorias does have that TP, but he's deciding to just stay in the lane for now, try and clear away these minion waves. Obviously, Achu and Jeppe would love to try and finish up that turret, but they know that that's not going to be happening for them. Proper Panda finds a hook, though, and in they go onto Soft. Paranoia comes on through, and it's an easy kill for Antero. They got themselves their Herald, and they've got themselves the entire top side of the map.
Antero going to stay for this red. Honestly, I feel like you just run mid right now, throw the Herald down, and it's easy pickings.
Chimera tries to go in there, but will have to back away. Has no mana left. That's pretty much that mid tower guaranteed. Artorias will not actually be rooted by the final chapter. He's going to walk under the tower, flashes away, blast cone available. Can he make it out? Oh, the root is going to be, the slow is going to be the true shot. Barrage comes through. And Achu finds the kill. It's traded, though, for a mid lane tier 2, as this Herald is going to charge on forwards.
And this was a right decision from Nvision. I was saying, run straight mid. You have the advantage. You are closer to being there, and Soft being down means it's easy to set up. They instantly throw the Herald down. They get that mid tower, which is usually such a difficult one to take. And having that off the map gives them even more control over this mid section. Nvision, yes, Artorias goes down. Playing really well around the map and finding some solid advantages has put them 1,000 gold ahead, but going to be traded when Achu and Jeppe pick up this tower.
Yeah, absolutely. They're trading towers evenly despite losing out on their Herald, but look at the scoreboard right now on the side of Achu. He's picking up so many kills during these skirmishes. He's so far ahead in CS, he's ahead in kills, he's ahead in tower plates as well. This guy is rocking up.
And something I talked about last game was the fact that usually Kai'Sa has cheaper item spikes compared to most traditional crit 80 carries. This isn't the case with Ezreal. Ezreal was doing that long before Kai'Sa was a champion. He goes his Mirror Man and his Iceborne Gauntlet. He has the cheaper items, and not only that, he's ahead in gold. Here, Spark opted not to go for the Mana Moon, has gone for the Storm Razor, and that means it is going to delay his Ginsu's by a while. So Achu already on 2 items, already working towards his 3rd and looking to have it stacked up. He's going to be a massive force to be reckoned with in this mid game.
Achu is certainly one of the players that during the Gauntlet, Phelan really relied on. Nice little steal there from Chimera on the blue buff.
I'm going to say that wasn't so much a nice steal from Chimera as a bad play from Mad My Day, because I think he misclicked. He picked up a sphere instead of the buff, because there is no way you should ever steal a buff from a Cinder.
That's true. Here we go. Artorias going to be in trouble. Stun does not land, though. Artorias walks away. What an ultimate. Artorias making moves in the top lane. Comfortable 2v1.
Just dodges everything there. The movement speed from Phase Rush, I think, coming in clutch, or maybe just from his Q, giving him the speed to not only dodge the wallop, but the Sonic Wave as well. And now Chimera, will be able to clear out the wave, so no threat onto him. Artorias' return has honestly shown he still has the veterancy to know when to back off to play respectful, but the moves there show he is on point. Yes, he doesn't have the greatest scoreline, but he's on a Cassiopeia. He's going to be a monster later, and his team are finding advantages around the map.
Oh, stun comes through onto Achu, but no follow-up there from Mad My Day. Antero does have that Paranoia available if they choose to go in for this one. Soft heading towards the mid lane as well. Final chapter will find the route onto Antero. No, flashes away. Finally goes for the route in the end. Paranoia comes on in, but it's flash on away. Kick comes out. Antero gets the kill anyway. Next one down will be Achu as Mad My Day steps on in, but here comes Chimera to answer. Onto Proper Panda next, who's dropped the box but misses the hook. And everything is going to be disengaged.
A bit unfortunate there that skill shots weren't landed by Proper Panda, but overall it is pretty even trade for both sides. A lot of aggression coming in. 2 for 1 though. I mean, I say pretty even. It's a 2 for 1 for Nvision. So again, they're finding these slight advantages. Antero has been monstrous on this Nocturne so far, and it looked like he may be overcommitted there, but he's able to get out again because of the roam coming in from Proper Panda. Nvision just finding the advantages again and again every single time. And it's not like Phelan aren't putting up a fight. They're definitely contesting it. They're definitely challenging them. But it is the side of Nvision just stepping ahead slightly.
I'd love to. I'm excited to see what Bear Tree can do on this map as well. He's one of the players that we've been talking about. He's up against Artorias, who, you know, we were showing the stats of earlier. His kind of return on in here on Nvision. Bear Tree was absolutely a highlight player for Phelan during the Gauntlet. He's a player that has been making a name for himself over the last 6 months. I'm excited to see what he can do now. He's got that Black Cleaver finished on Gnar, but here we go. Team fight coming on in. Teleport from Bear Tree as well to join this fight. Everybody stepping on in, but the health bars are blinking. Antero goes golden as Soft is the first one to go down. Traded for the Kai'Sa, though. And now into the fight. Chimera walks away. Bear Tree's arrived, but misses the stun, importantly. Mad My Day slowed by the Yuumi. Rock comes on in as well, and Artorias has nowhere to go. Everything going the way of Phelan right now. Stun comes out from Mad My Day to disengage, but a fantastic fight for the red team.
Just as I'm praising Nvision, they overstep in a fight. They bring in Artorias too late, and even then, it was a pretty heavy overcommit. Proper Panda using all his CC as an opener, left nothing towards the end, and Phelan, they are still stronger at this mid-game stage.
Oh, Proper Panda just gets popped there by Chimera. Teleport being channeled to try and defend this tower. Spark has arrived. There's still 4 players here for Phelan, though. They have very much got priority.
I think the big talking point here has got to be a chew on this Ezreal. Look at his items. He has that fully stacked Mirror Mana. He has the Iceborne Gauntlet. He was doing a ton of work in that last team fight. And Nvision almost getting overconfident from their successes, opting to go for a fight that realistically, when you are playing a composition who needs a bit more time to get going, you shouldn't come out ahead in. And they didn't have the numbers advantage. Bear Tree got his TP in first. And that Gnar is going to be a bigger impact maker when he has the Mega.
And Terry doing a fantastic job so far in this game. 4-2 and 3 on this Nocturne, but it felt like in that fight, you know, he goes in very early into the fight, but couldn't finish any targets off, couldn't have the major impact he needed to. Had to go golden very early on, and it meant his impact was limited. Now he's found Soft, though. It's going to be Soft going golden. In comes Bear Tree to try and save his jungler, but it's too little too late. It looks like they'll have to back away. In comes a Chew. Look at the damage that this Ezreal is dishing on out. And Tero, the next target as well. Jeppahau grabs one.
And again, Nvision look for a fight that they shouldn't be asking for. Chew is so strong on this Ezreal at this point of the game.
Oh, here we go. Stun onto Artorias. Follows it up as well, but just no damage there from Bear Tree, and Artorias might be able to turn this one around. There's another stun, though. Another rock will do it. Jump straight on down. Gumba Stomp from Bear Tree.
And unfortunately, Artorias unable to land a few of those poisons, so able to get that healing, that extra damage. And gotta ask, he didn't use his flash, and also didn't use that Seraph. So maybe a couple of mistakes coming out there from Artorias, where just underestimating the damage from Bear Tree before he got that second wallop. And as a result, he will go down.
This is such an abusive duo right here in the Ezreal and the Yuumi. So much coming out from Achu. When he lands the WQ combo with Yuumi, managing to get the slow so the skill shots are guaranteed. Man, the damage that he's dishing out already with the 2 items, but he's going to recall shortly. We'll see what he grabs next.
I mean, this is the power of the Ezreal Yuumi. This is the power of Phelan's composition. Their mid-game is so incredibly strong. They have so many tools to make it oppressive. And Nvision, despite having a good early game, they overstepped. They didn't respect what Phelan would try and do. They gave them a window back into the game when Ezreal was super strong and LeBlanc too. And now they are 2,000 gold behind. They're sort of left here to play catch-up.
Now, it is worth mentioning that the longer this game goes on, Phelan's composition will start to fall off, especially things like Soft on the Lee Sin. Lee Sin is famous for having a pretty bad late stages of the game. Very difficult to have the same impact that you can during the mid game. But they're a long way off of that point for now. And the question for me is going to be, can Phelan snowball this? The fact that these tier 1s in both the top and the mid lane are still up is an issue for Phelan.
Absolutely is. They cracked the mid lane tower, which is a great early one, but unable to capitalize on the rest is a big of a hit. And to be honest, it goes for both teams. Both teams have been finding these fights, finding these skirmishes, but the translation to objectives hasn't really been there. Achu and Jeppe have been in this mid lane for quite a while, poking down, but they're just unable to find the tower.
Spark almost going down. The true shot barrage flashed away from Proper Panda trying to protect his carry, but Achu does so much. Soft coming in to try and finish things off, but the tower will be their reward. Now TP having to be channeled by Mad My Day just to save this tower, but I don't know if his presence is going to be enough right now. Another minion wave will be on its way shortly, but a couple of skill shots from a Chu is all it takes to pop a health bar. Oh, in he goes on Terra, the next target here. Voidseeker does miss narrowly. Mad My Day losing so much HP. A Chu very aggressively jumping on in, but he's tanking the tower right now. He's grounded, and he might just go down. Look at the ultimate coming out from Artorias. In they go, and down the players fall from the likes of Phelan. Nvision stepping on forward, and Artorias stunned up once again. Bear Tree the target, but he's gone mini, and he will not be able to finish the fight. Jeppehau has no one to jump onto and will go down, but in the end, Chimera arrives on the scene, trying to dish out the damage himself, but he's out of cooldowns, and Artorias has been free-firing this entire time. Proper Panda can't quite find the hook.
And Artorias finds such a great flank. The miasma was perfectly timed to keep a Chu on the tower. Couldn't even flash out. And then the stun onto 4 members. This is the Artorias I remember. This is the Artorias who was a challenge to play against back in my day. This is what I wanted to see from his return.
Back in my day. Grandad Orcs here on the mic. At the tender age of what, 22? 23?
I'm 24.
24.
22 when I retired.
Okay. Damn, Artorias though.
Monster performance.
Had a really, really good fight there. He has also some lowlights.
So, I mean, the most just pivotal thing is the fact that he's able... I mean, it's a hit to Phelan to not have the vision set up to go for this play. Clearly, it was a spare of the moment because the Chu was landing a ton of skill shots. They didn't have the setup for this play, and that's what cost them. Because they don't have the vision here on the Cassiopeia. Walks over, you're in a tower, you're feeling confident. Miasma, there's nothing you can do. And then everyone moves to try and turn. Gets the 3-man stun, technically a 4 because Yumi's trapped too. And then Nvision start to capitalize. And Phelan are able to hold on to a degree. Jeppehau, the new addition to the roster, doing a great job to stay alive on this Yumi. Jumping in and out, but never allowing himself to get bursted. And yes, Chimera joins and has a big impact, but it's too late. And Artorias is too strong to risk going in without the cooldowns.
I mean, Phelan did a good job, honestly, to salvage that fight, considering a Chu was the first one to go down. And he is absolutely the pivotal member of this squad right now. But honestly, when you look at it, when you take that second look at the team fight, a Chu just oversteps there. Like, absolutely. Very, very cocky play from him. He thought that he could finish off Mad My Day with the second auto attack. He tries to step away again, realizes that he's not got it, sort of panics.
Absolutely, and looking for a window there on Spark. And that's the thing. There is windows to punish a Chu, especially when you have a Nocturne, especially when you have the likes of a Kai'Sa who can chase him down, a Cinder who can ult him. He is playing very aggressive, but there are windows for him to be punished. But for now, he's definitely putting the skill into skill shots by putting a lot of hurt down on the side of Nvision.
True Shot Barrage just to check the Baron there, or just to hit Mad My Day and Terror the target, and autos will be enough. Chu does so much damage. Steps away from the hook as well. Mad My Day stepping on forward, but I think he's in trouble right now because Chimera's coming from the side. That's a lot of healing. Spark will go down next as a Chu grabs yet another kill. Bear Tree about to go mega, and everyone's against the wall already. There's the Gnar. Wrong direction though. Will not find the stuns. Proper Panda walking away with this one. There's a stun though, coming down onto Artorias. He's got nowhere to find himself to safety right now. Chimera grabs that kill.
Great fight coming out from Phelan, but honestly just poor positioning from Nvision. They didn't need to take that fight. They overcommit because they want to make up for their jungler going down, but in the end, Phelan clean it up. This is when their composition is strong, and they are showing why. So much control, so much ability to pick people up, poke them down, and the chase potential is shoot. They're now rewarded with the Baron Nashor.
Phelan playing excellently in this game, and Bear Tree, you know, the Gnar ultimate on the actual ability itself, it's Gnar exclamation mark. That one was more of a Gnar question mark, I think, but still managing to win out the fight. It wasn't the pivotal moment of the fight.
And it's just so much burst here from a Chu, and after this point, Proper Panda goes for the flash up, it doesn't connect. This is when you should say, okay, we're not making it back up. But Mad My Day steps up, doesn't find the kill, and then Spark going in as well. It's like they're getting caught in this fight that they're not going to win. They're already a member down, and now Bear Tree cheaping in just seals their fate. It was honestly just a one at a time sort of mentality coming out from Nvision where they just lose more and more members. They could have gotten away with one person being picked, but when you lose 4 members of the team, there's no way you're going to get away with that without losing the Baron. Nvision not respecting Phelan. and paying for it dearly.
And one of the things that Ezreal offers is very long-range siege here. When he does manage to get his W in onto the tower, can immediately chunk that objective out very comfortably. And it's just such a safe way to siege. In the meantime, Chimera going to be split pushing down in the bottom lane. Artorias maybe wants to make a play, but will not be able to find that target and has to back away because the rest of the team is on the way. Lantern will pull him to safety, but that's guaranteed this tower.
Yeah, and Phelan doing a lot of work already, even just in the first moments of this Baron buff. Trying to close out these objectives. They have a wave in the top side if they want to move towards it, but for now they're happy just pressuring the mid and bot lane. Chimera with that Banshee is very difficult to cut down and find opportunity to punish.
Well, I was hyping up this Nvision roster coming into this game. I was saying the new roster, everything's changing up. Artorias is back. Proper Panda, a veteran in the bottom lane alongside Spark there. Antero and Mad My Day making a debut here. Unfortunately for them, so far, it's not been working out. But Phelan showing they are still on form. They can still be this team that did their Miracle Gauntlet run. The question is, can they finish things out now? They've got the Baron. They're onto the inhibitor towers.
Putting a lot of hurt down already, and as I said, the poke, the siege, so difficult to deal with from the Ezreal and the Yuumi. And look at the bit,
but Mad My Day very low, and Soft has found the kill for himself. Kicks Antero back as well. That'll be another one dropping as they finish off everybody. Artorias, the last man standing, slowed on down, will be finished off surely. Does go for the surface this time, but it's nowhere near enough. Soft gets the ace for himself. It is a clean 5-man wipe.
Huge plays coming out from Phelan. Achu able to step up and be confident, and they just cannot punish him. He has a Mortal Mortis, he has a Yuumi on him, and in return, Nvision try and capitalize, and they get taken down. Phelan, a little slow to start, but a very convincing win coming out from them.
Excellent stuff coming out from Phelan. This is game one, going their way over Nvision, proving that this is still the same team that did the Miracle Gauntlet run. And we have to talk about Soft, man. We didn't really talk about him that much this game, but that play at the end finds the Sonic Wave, finds the assassination, but it also puts him in the perfect spot to get a beautiful 2-man Dragon Rage.
Yeah, perfect. Really strong play, and it's what we've expected from Soft. I mean, he was a rookie. Not like, I believe it was last split, he was the rookie coming into the league, but he has stepped up his performances consistently, and now he is a force to be reckoned with. And the reason it's been so fun to watch him is he likes playing these aggressive picks, these Lee Sins, making an impact. And although the early game wasn't the flashiest, he managed to really make it known in the mid to late. But you gotta, and we talked all about that, Achu and Jetpay just looked monstrous on the Ezreal Yuumi. That TP top, although overall I did say it favored Nvision, the fact that they had the heads-up play to go for that really helped out their team and is showing that they have a lot of an ability to recognize the state of the map. But then just from then on, they became a menace poking down the enemy team.
Yeah, their macro as well towards the later stages of the game was excellent. Their use of the Baron and finding these picks snowballing the Ezreal Yuumi from the bottom lane. Fantastic stuff coming out from Phelan. We'll find out if they can turn it into a 2-game series or whether Nvision are going to come back with a vengeance. We'll go to a quick break. We'll find out right after this.